So happy Tuesday, and may the 4th be with you. What do you think? May 4th, it is Star Wars Day. And a few years back, I saw this awesome t-shirt by a shop that doesn't exist anymore, but they did at the time. And so they showed this t-shirt, May the 4th be with you, the 4th inch, of course. And I ordered it and got it. I wish they were still in business. They were out of Texas. So anyway, I just had to celebrate the 4th inch today for Star Wars Day. So tell me, I'm Pat Sloan. This is my daily video. Thank you for being here. So do you like Star Wars? Are you a big Star Wars fan? I would say that I was a first Star Wars fan, only because I'm not a big moviegoer, and of course when Star Wars came out, it was so fabulous and so groundbreaking that I of course went to go see it like everybody else, I think, but I haven't really kept up with it after that, just because I'm not a movie person. And so anyway, but I still like it. And of course my word of the year is do, which is I took a take off of Yoda's saying from Star Wars. Okay. So today celebrates Star Wars. If you happen to have made a Star Wars quilt or a space quilt, I think that would be really cool to share over in our Facebook group at Quilt Along with Pat Sloan. It would be lovely to see your space quilt. I did Out of This World Quilt Along. It was a block of the month. We did, I think, 2 years ago, because Out West was 2020 and I think it was 2019. We did one that was kind of, so I had really cool space fabric in it. It was really nice. So here's a picture. I'll put a picture. This is it. And you can still get that pattern. So if you want to make yours, and of course a lot of people use different fabrics. So today I wanted to do a couple things. Well, actually just mostly one thing. But first let me do a mail call. Mail call. I got this absolutely amazing cross-stitch gift from Eva. Oh my goodness, isn't this beautiful? Look at it. She does such gorgeous cross-stitch. And I believe this might actually have a slightly different name than cross-stitch because it's like a lot of line work on the cloth, but it is incredible. It says quilt, quilt, quilt. And spinning stars, applique, lone star, flying geese, all these different types of quilt blocks. This is just a treasure. Thank you, Eve, so much. And I was lucky enough a few years back when I was teaching that Eve came to my class. So that was nice. I've met her in person. All right, so the other day I was thinking, what is it? I was thinking about, I should take you around with what I do for the day. But it's easier for me to talk about the day and show you some pictures of my day. So that is what I'm going to do. It is a day in the life of Pat. And one of the things that happened during the day, I'm going to need your help on. So I'm going to, maybe it'll be resolved by the time that you see this. But if it's not, but I'll get there. So let me sit down a second. And we will, before I start, okay, I keep jumping there. Look, I've got the little sashings in on the Jolly Bar 3, and if you go to the project page for the Jolly Bar 3, I put an updated layout with the more triangles on it and also a border. So if you want to see what that looks like, and since you're watching my video, you get to know before everybody else, because I won't tell anybody else until Monday. They just have to discover it on their own. But you are watching my video, so you get to see it. Okay, day in the life. What do we start out with? I have got a list. I had to make a list of what I was doing so I could take, because as I was doing these things, I was taking pictures. And my day is fairly, I would say, okay, so I got out a little bit more that day, just like, I need to do something else today. So of course we had coffee. We had coffee with all of you first thing in the morning at 7:15 when the morning video runs. There's a live chat, and so for about 15 minutes before it runs, from about 7 to 7:15, we chat, and then we chat during the video as well. So that's kind of fun. There's usually close to, sometimes there's close to 400 people. So if you like to get up in the morning and start with a little chat, then Greg and I went out on the front porch because it was a gorgeous day, and it had just gotten gorgeous, you know. So you never know what the days are going to be like. They could be a little bit sketchy and cool, but when it's warm out and beautiful in the morning, it just has that fresh morning smell. So we're sitting out on the front porch, and there's a picture of Mr. Greg. So after that, I usually go into the Facebook community and I do a lot of approvals. I add people to the group who wanted to join, and often I can add 20 to 100 new people to the group. Just depends on what's going on during the day. I usually do that in chunks during the day rather than all at once. Then I had to get on the computer again for a business meeting. So I had one of those. You know, it is a business. There are people, we need to coordinate things. So we had a business meeting. Then it was a day for my wrist exercises. So I still am doing wrist exercises. I actually feel like I need a new set of exercises for my left, because the left one does not have the strength. And it was very disappointing when I started went to the grocery store, because I'm going to get my fresh vegetables now rather than having those delivered and getting the fresh stuff. And I just can't carry the weight of the bags. I don't have strength. I don't have the mobility yet. So that was that part. But I have the exercises I have to do still every other day for the weights. Okay. Now I am trying to get my English paper piecing done for the old school block of the month. So I'm trying every day to stitch a little bit. I'm not stitching on it every day, but that day I was. And now here is where I am with it. From that day, I got this much more done. I'm sewing here, sewing on this part here, and then I have to add the last unit, which has a moth on it. After that, there's still one more ring, and I'm going to do the black around the other ring. So here's like my little workstation that I have down on the design board. I just have kept everything on the design board so that it's easier. Those fall. So if I have to move it, they fall. So here are the black. Like, I don't know whether I should add in some other black to it, like have 3 different pieces, or just do these 2, the floral and the stripe, or add in this guy as well, because there's a lot more around that outer ring, and then it gets laid down on top of the peach and applique. So that is in progress. It's going along. In order, every day, almost every day, I film. So I have to set up the film equipment right now stays up. Like, I have this camera on my desk all the time, by my sewing machine. It's right here. Here's the sewing machine. Here's the camera, and I've got lighting up there. So I have to get all the other stuff that I'm going to be working with. So I get it all out, I film. Then I have to go and process the film and do the editing and then upload it. And if there's a blog post, write the blog post. So all of that work is done daily, every single day, except for one day, because I don't do it on Sunday or Saturday. Either Saturday or Sunday, I don't tape. Otherwise, I'm taping every single day. All right, what do we do? Then I did some crumb block maintenance. Yes, because I had gotten a bunch of trimmings off the backs of things, and so I needed to, I don't want it just laying there, and so some of them, if they were wide enough, they went to 2.5-inch squares, and then everything else went in the top of this rolling tray. So now I have a whole nother set of things. This is the one I'm currently sewing, the crumb block. So this is really time consuming. I now have a lot more fabric in here because this was all the backing of projects that are going in the next book. Okay, now this is where I need your help. If you believe in this, there's like, what is it, 6 degrees of separation, right? That if you know somebody and you just ask around, like you're trying to get to know I don't know, you're trying to get to know a movie star of some sort. So if you go through and ask within 6 people, you will know and find somebody who knows this person, any person. So here's my dilemma. On the day I was doing all this, the package that I sent to the spa, to the long armor, to Cindy, to have her long arm one of the quilts for my book, said it was delivered, and it did not get delivered. So the package has been missing. So it didn't arrive that day. So the next day we filed a report. And we got checking, and there was no status and no status and no status. So I'm filming this on Monday. And so as of Monday, which was the next day, they said that you could escalate it because I guess it goes in their system. Well, we escalated it to the phone call, which they give you, now get the number. And they're like, oh, well, nobody's been assigned this, so we'll need to put it out there. So if you know anybody in the FedEx system who can track a missing package, email me, pat@patsloan.com, and I will give you the tracking number of the error tracking, so problem tracking number. It's like, I don't want to remake the quilt. Luckily, it was not a big quilt, but there were also a bunch of other things in there that were purchased that I was sending to Cindy that I would have to repurchase. And I don't really want to do that either. And I just would like the package found. I can tell you, I have been shipping things for 22 years, and this is the first FedEx package that has been gone this many days where we don't really know where it is. I've had things delayed, like that's normal after 22 years, you'd have something. But I'm fingers crossed, and if any of you have friends that work to FedEx and they know can ask around to find somebody who knows the right people who can find my package. It was on the truck in the town where Cindy is to be delivered, but it got delivered somewhere else apparently. So there. That was late in the day. Then I went for a walk. So here is my neighborhood. I was checking my flowers because my irises are coming up. Then I had to go into Starbucks and get a Starbucks. So it's really nice to be vaccinated and feel like I can now do a few normal things. So I got my mask on, went into the Starbucks, picked up my coffee. Did a bunch of other sort of tasks that needed to be done, putting things away, did a little lacrosse stitch. I did my yoga, and then in the evening we lit the fire pit because it was warm. We felt warm enough to sit outside for a little bit. Oh, and then after that, way in the evening, I have this stack of the quilts that all need binding for the next book. So this is a sneak peek of those, and I started doing a bunch of the trimming for that. So I had to got more of the scraps, the crumbs and strings and stuff from that. So that is a typical day, minus the missing package, the package not being delivered. That is a very atypical day. That hardly ever happens, and I'm hoping that it will get found. Positive thinking. So today we celebrate Star Wars with May the 4th be with you on May 4th. I just love that so much. All right, my friends, links are down below. I love you. Mwah. See you online.